Hey, what's going on, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so Michael Porter Jr. Turns out that he is having some pretty bad issues with his back at the moment. It's been reported that he's having some type of nerve issue of some sort. This is a back that has had two surgeries. And of course, we know a lot about that because he spoke on it very recently in an interview that I saw where he was just basically saying that his back was in need of surgery on draft day, which I kind of thought there was something very wrong with his back that day. I know they had said he had had a surgery, or thought they said he had had a surgery, but I don't think that was the case at the time. But he was walking so gingerly as he was stepping up to the podium. He looked like he was in so much pain that I knew for a fact he wasn't going to be playing basketball anytime soon. Um, he has since healed up very well. They took their time with him and he came back, but unfortunately, this issue is something that's returned. And it's rough because they just paid him $145 million. They just paid pretty much everybody on that roster has been paid. So now it's like they're kind of stuck at this point. Um, so MPJ started off the season very poorly, and it was uncharacteristically poor, and you could start to sense that something else may have been wrong, because clearly this is not a player who has issues putting the ball in the basket. Like I said, he's already proven himself at this point. So it had to be something wrong with him, and it turns out the back was starting to act up again. So it's been reported also that his season may be in jeopardy. Now, what does that mean? Who knows? Because I've also heard that he was only supposed to miss a week. So clearly, something has changed in that. He is now away from the team in Florida, from what I read, and I guess he's trying to figure out, get some more opinions on how to treat this thing and how to get back on the court. They said that he's been getting some type of shot or some type of relief to the back to try to strengthen it. They've been giving him something, but unfortunately, it hasn't gotten him to a point where he's ready to get back out there. So his season is in jeopardy, and it's just one of those situations where I don't really report on everything that goes on in the league, as you guys very well see. I'm not reporting on every injury, and some of these injuries are just coming so frequently that it's hard to keep up. But to be honest with you, this one was important to me because of the fact that he's back. Um, it was such a very serious situation there with him, and you just hate to see it. You know what I mean? Because it's one of those situations where this is a player who's going to turn into a superstar if he can, get the most out of his body. It's not even about whether or not he can play. He can play. It's just a matter of whether or not the back will cooperate, and it's starting to rear its ugly head. For him and his family, I'm very happy that he's been paid. That's the most beautiful thing about all of this. If this is something that's going to linger, he's set. Money in the hand, and that's what you want to see for the athlete. Unfortunately, it's the complete opposite for the organization. They have a contract with a player that they love. Don't get it twisted. If he comes back healthy, we're not worried about his contract. It's a good contract if he's healthy. But because his back is bad, you have to look at it as a bad contract right now. You just have to. It's the beginning of a 4-year deal, and we're having reoccurring issues with a problem that we were already aware of. So, I feel for the Denver organization. I know they're going all in trying to win the championship, but you have to understand that you are giving money to people that are not necessarily going to be available to play. Um, Murray, that was paid to him before the knee, but now that the knee is a thing, you have to pray and hope that knee is not a reoccurring situation. Obviously, Jokic, you don't even think twice about that. He's not even a part of that. But then you look down at Aaron Gordon, and like I've said, when he was paid, I respect that he deserves that money in this league. I just didn't know if it should be Denver giving it to him, and based on their situation, obviously, right now, you feel pretty good about having him because he can do what Michael Porter can do, and that gives you some Michael Porter insurance. The problem is, how expensive did you need Michael Porter's insurance to actually be? Because at the end of the day, you're not really giving yourself a discount at all because you can't bring other stuff in. You know what I mean? As to where if you would have had a much lesser player, in terms of contract, this is a much better situation because now you can go get a plethora of people potentially in trades and all that different stuff with the cap space that you would have. As is, Nuggets have no cap space. So whatever they're going to do in order to get better, if they choose to try to get better, history tells us they want to win now. They're going to have to probably give up more in whatever trade than they're willing to at this point in order to take back anything. They would have to make it worth the other team's while. So Now that Michael Porter is down, and Jamal Murray's still several months away, the Denver Nuggets in trouble. In my opinion, they're in trouble. Now, granted, they still got the MVP, so they're gonna win games. I think they'll be a playoff team, but you start to wonder where they go from here. Now, obviously, if you've been following me, you know where I think they should go from here. They got a player on the back of their bench that I think could give them big production if they just play him. His name is Bol Bol. And if he were on my franchise, I would be saying we need to start him and play him regular minutes. Um, I think he's one of those players in this league that just isn't being played right. I don't look at him. You know how I look at Bol Bol, you guys? I look at Bol Bol like I looked at Montrezl Harrell with the Lakers. I don't question who the player is. I just question the organization and the role that they have the player in. I know what he can do. I can look at him and see his skill set and tell you what he can do. He's a 7-foot guard who can shoot threes like the wind. I mean, the Denver Nuggets probably the only team that wouldn't be playing right now, starting them. And I've already made my opinion about this very much known. And I do think that now that Michael Porter is down, it's even more so necessary for them to give Bol Bol at least 25 minutes to prove himself out there. And once he does that, then you'll give him 35 minutes because he will have proven himself, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It is what it is. I said the same thing about Mo Bamba. Look where he's at now. I mean, some stuff ain't hard to tell, y'all. Some guys are just going to be able to be productive off the strength of their bodies. Bol Bol is one of them, and so on and so forth. But the Nuggets also have a lot of good things on that bench that they like. So I'm sure as a deep team, they're going to be able to keep themselves above the fray in terms of keeping themselves within the playoff range. I mean, it's a Western Conference, but they'll be in the playoff range. I love Bones Highland. I like Monte Morris, fantastic mid-range jump shooter. They got all kinds of players, so I'm not worried about the Denver Nuggets like that. It's just when you consider the fact that they're a contender, and consider the fact that the Phoenix Suns started hot, that the Lakers are likely going to pick it up, that other teams are coming on strong. The Utah Jazz are very much in it. The Golden State Warriors are dominating. And you just have to consider the fact that the Nuggets are also in that mix. No Michael Porter Jr., half a season with Murray potentially. You just don't see them really being able to stay in that mix in terms of being able to be a contender now. So, a lot is riding on Michael Porter to be able to come back and fill his role, even with all that depth that they have. So we will see. We will see. I'll keep my eye on the Nuggets, but this does not help their cause. Let me tell you, not at all. So that's what I got to say, man. That's what I got. My name is BDO44. Thank y'all for watching. I'm out.